Hey y'all, and welcome to the, I think, sixth episode of the Joy of Life challenge. We are up bright and early. It's, I think, 7 a.m. Laura's already at her dad's place, and that is because today is Harvestfest slash Thanksgiving. I'm still kinda thinking about whether to call it Thanksgiving or Harvestfest. But anyway, we're already at our dad's house. We are up bright and early. We have some board games here. We've already kind of set up everything. They're hugging really nicely. Oh, how sweet. Laura really appreciated receiving such kind of attention from Connor just now. That affection made her feel extra special. Does this mean Laura particularly likes affection? I definitely think so. I definitely do think that this is something very important to her recently. Her life has been kind of rough. Connor has been kind of a helicopter dad recently. So I definitely think that some affection is definitely very healing for her. We actually made some food yesterday. We made a lot of food for Thanksgiving. We were baking and cooking the whole day. Laura has prepared a lot of food, like really just a lot. She was baking the whole day yesterday. And I just want to mention how pretty this looks. Like you can so obviously see its fall, and this is amazing. This is exactly what I had in mind for this challenge. I love the vibes. I'm in love. She was baking the whole day. She didn't really catch a break. In the end, she just ended up eating a sandwich she quickly made herself because she just didn't have any energy to bake or cook anymore. So we're just moving all the stuff we made to our dad's fridge. The reason we have more money is because we are actually moved in with our dad just for this day, because I want Laura to stay the night, but I will move her out tomorrow, I think. So Laura actually made honey brick toast, pastry egg tarts, Castella, which is huge by the way. I was gasping when I saw this. I made a Tumblr post showing how huge it is in relation to her head, and I was gasping when I tell you it was crazy. We also have some sugar cookies, some stuffed pumpkins, which are also really nice, and I also really look forward to eating those because they look so yummy. And we also have some premixed brownies. I moved all of that to the fridge, and I think Laura still needs to do some stuff. We still need a turkey dinner or something like that. So our potluck will actually be starting at 3 p.m. So we do have some time until then. So I know usually you eat turkey for Thanksgiving, but I'm also kind of thinking about just doing a grand roast beef dinner. So what I saw is that Laura actually loves Harvestfest. She loves so many traditions that are like related to it. She loves making grand meals because she's so family oriented, which plays so well into the storyline. She also really loves the thankful spirit, also because she's family oriented. So she just really wants to spread kind energy to kind of make all the neighbors feel at home. She also really loves to decorate, which she has already done, it says. But maybe we can actually find a decoration box and decorate a bit with our dad. When I was playing a bit off cam, as you know, her apartment is infested. Like there are rats, there's like sizzling thingy boxes, which I always forget the name of. Like it's a hazard, honestly. So I actually got a pop-up saying that she's feeling pretty squeamish lately. So I feel like she's just so fed up with this apartment. She tried to like see the good sides. She tried to see the upsides of the apartment. She tried to face the challenges and kind of make something of it. But she's been living there for like what, half a year, maybe 9 months. And it's been like this all the time. The landlord doesn't really do anything. They just get more and more irritated the more Laura calls. She just feels very left alone in this apartment. She feels like she isn't heard. She feels like obviously she isn't safe there. Like there's mold on the walls and no one does anything about it. So she's kind of saving up. Right now she's kind of really engaging in her freelance gig. Right now she doesn't have any. But yeah, she's really big on that. Oh, Connor actually doesn't love anything about Harvestfest. So I think him not really liking anything about Harvestfest really kind of tells me something, because I know this hasn't been very prominent in this storyline so far, But I truly do think that deep down, even though Laura really loves her dad, her mother has always kind of been her favorite, even though she doesn't want to admit it. I feel like due to her and her dad actually having a bad compatibility, she is really overwhelmed deep down with like his helicopter dad kind of behavior and like them not really having anything in common because she's all about that family stuff. She's all about the coziness. She's all about like autumn vibes. She's all about just being kind to others, and all those creative things such as making things, crafting things, drawing things, whereas he is just not really interested in all that stuff. He's more the kind of guy to go hiking, to go fishing with his friends casually after work. I feel like he does love his family, and it's obvious because he's so caring about Laura all the time, so protective. But I do feel like there's a certain kind of distance there, and I do feel like when her mom was still around, he was like the kind of dad that was in his office most of the time or working on his personal stuff most of the time. And it's not that he wasn't caring, he was just not as prominent of a figure as her mom. And I don't say that in a bad way, like that it had a huge impact on Laura, but I really do think that this kind of added to the fact that Laura just prefers her mom. And now that her mom is gone, I feel like her dad is kind of trying to fill that role, but being so overprotective all the time. I do feel like he's been a very slightly distant dad, but he's also the kind of dad that would like have prevented her from dating when she was like 17 or something like that. You know, he was just like, yeah, sure, do your own thing, but don't date and don't go out late and don't do all that stuff. And so I do feel like she's very irritated by that because it's nice and she does love her dad, but they don't have a good compatibility. He's always kind of calling, but they don't have that much of a bond, despite him trying to be so protective. So yeah, I definitely do think this is something that bothers Laura in a way, but it's not like a huge thing. Like she still loves her dad and her dad still loves her. So her dad actually does have to pay us some money back for the ingredients because he does know that Laura isn't that well off with her money and she's saving up to move. So although this is kind of a new idea, she hasn't really told her dad about. It's just like she doesn't have a lot of money and she did bake and cook a lot of things, so he definitely wants to pay her back for that. He's just being really thankful right now. He's like, it really means a lot to me that you make time for me, that you cooked all those things, and like deep down I really do think that this is a nice idea. I definitely do kind of sort of look forward to morning with our neighbors once again. I think some of them are really nice. And she's like, oh, thank you. Oh my god, you don't have to give me the money back. But deep down, she's just like, oh my god, yes, money, I need that back. I do feel like Laura has been doing worse lately, and that is because she does have the gloomy trait, but it hasn't really affected her yet. But when I was playing off cam, she was feeling very bad. She was feeling very overwhelmed with her apartment, with like all the infestations. And while she was actually baking, she wasn't feeling good. She was getting really sad. She was getting really sentimental. It's really starting to show that like the death of her mom does affect her. I feel like she's kind of out of that denial stage, and now she's like, just like, wow, so this really happened. And I feel like she started to try to process the death of her mom and kind of find ways to cope with it before she could actually grieve her. So I feel like now that distraction effect is kind of wearing off and she's actually starting to feel the emotions she's feeling. But it's just a very emotional time. I feel like she and her mom also really enjoyed autumn and all that stuff. So it's hard. Oh, warmed heart from supportive family dynamic. After spending some time with a supportive family member, Laura has all the warm fuzzy feels in her heart. I definitely do think, as you can see, they do have a supportive dynamic. So just that one special thing kind of lacking in their relationship. Just as Sims live for the moments of joy, humor, and silliness, often though they're irresponsible, wasting time by playing around instead of focusing on the goals. See, this is exactly what I mean with this personality. I feel like he doesn't really know how to listen, maybe. And he doesn't know how to be there for her quite the way her mom was there for her. She's actually singing her song. She's singing about Harvestfest. Maybe she's singing a song they used to sing when she was younger. That's so sweet. She's just like, thank you so much for listening to my idea. This really means a lot to me, and I certainly do think that this is great for us. And I don't know, spending time with our neighbors is definitely something nice. And he's like, but we have to make sure that this and that is fixed, and that this is and that is clean. And she's just like, Dad, just calm down, okay? We will decorate. We will clean up, we will decorate and all that stuff. We don't have to worry all the time. Laura's just rummaging through all of the decorations that we still have, looking for something they can maybe put up. So did we find anything? Oh, we actually did. Okay, so we have this. I don't think we need this. Let's just put this one here. And then we can just put this fruit bowl here, just in case someone wants to grab a quick snack. Alright, so our potluck is starting. And I think because this table has the most spaces or places for people to sit, we are going to sit on the table inside first. Maybe we can go outside later. Oh, so Liberty actually put her food outside. So maybe we can kind of mix where we go. Let's just all go inside for now. I've set the table up. We have all the food we made here, and we also have even more food here in case anyone wants some. So we are all inside, and the others are just kind of arriving with time. Oh, so Travis brought spaghetti, and Liberty also brought spaghetti. We're just going to compliment his food, and this guy is wearing a very fancy outfit, and I love Liberty's outfit. So let's just put in some music. We can all sit down. Let's listen to Summer Threat. I don't know what that is. Alright, so Laura is wearing a sweet outfit that I gave her. And she's actually looking at her phone. I wonder who's texting her. As you all might recall, we did install the Cinder app quite a few episodes ago, so maybe she's checking that out, but who knows. So everyone's already sitting down, everyone's grabbing some food. This is so cozy, I love it so much. And her outfit is so cute, they're all enjoying themselves. Some of them are eating outside, some of them are eating inside. But I think that's totally fine. Hello, Latte! Hello! Latte's there! And as you may or may not have seen, there's someone else. This is Fatima. This is the person we met on Social Bunny. Well, we met her on the street, but then we kept chatting on Social Bunny. And she's here. And what happened is, she doesn't really live close by Connor's house, but she did make her way here, so let's just talk to her. Because we actually did make a Social Bunny post, and we did invite her, because we were kind of scared that not as many people would attend our potluck. And so we just kind of invited some people, kind of like made a post, so maybe some other people will arrive as well. I really don't know. But what we do know is that Fatima is here because she was really excited by the idea of a potluck. She was really eager, she didn't really have anything to do on Thanksgiving, so she just thought, okay, maybe we can hang out. We wanted to hang out anyway, so let's just hang out today. So let's thank her for coming. I'm so glad she's here, and I really like her outfit. And everything's so cozy, oh my god. So I do think that Laura is really glad she's here. Some people are hanging out in the living room as well. We are all just chilling, and Latte is wearing a super cute dress with like a really sweet turtleneck. They're just chatting. She's like, yeah, I've been having a lot of gigs lately. I really need to get that money in, because my landlord's been Not very landlordy. If anything, he's been land grabby. So, a lot of our guests are actually people we do know for quite some time. For example, Liberty and Summer and Travis, they've been living here. They're around the same age, maybe, I don't know, I think they kind of have mixed ages, so I do think that Liberty is a little older than Laura, but I do think that Summer is a little younger than Laura. So yeah, they've kind of been like not really childhood friends, but they've been friends when they were teens. So yeah, let's just kind of have some small talk, kind of ask how everything's going, if they're still doing the stuff they wanted to do when they were teens or children. Let's just discuss our interests. Oh, this all looks so yummy, those pastry egg tarts. Oh my god, I love them. Summer's dancing, Summer is really feeling it. Oh, and those are also our neighbors. They've also been here for quite some time. We haven't really gotten to know them, but they do have a really young child. I feel like maybe they moved here when Laura was like 13, 14, and this little child was a baby when Laura still lived here. So yeah, she didn't move out too long ago, but they kind of didn't really talk, so there's kind of a gap. Laura's just seeing this little child and she's like, "Oh my god, you've grown so much. This is crazy. I've seen you the last time when you were like, what, 4?" And this child is like, "I you moved out like a year ago." And Laura's like, "Yeah, but I didn't really see you guys." So we also still have to tell a story, so let's just tell Latte a story about, I don't even know what. Maybe about a job or about a crappy apartment. She's like, there are so many worms in my apartment. Latte, it's not even funny. Like, you can be so glad you don't live in the district that I live in. Latte's like, well, maybe you should go look for some other apartments if it's that bad. My district is pretty okay, I guess, but the apartments aren't that cheap there. And Laura's like, yeah, I know, I'll see. Maybe I'll move to the Spice District, but I don't really know yet. Oh, we actually do have to call guests to a meal. Let's call them to the turkey meal. And Laura's looking kinda sad. See, she is looking kinda sad. And I feel like that's because she's missing her mom. Because every Thanksgiving she used to be with her mom, and mom used to be here, and now it's the first Thanksgiving without her. So it's kind of really bothering her. Although she's happy, she just wants some privacy right now. Did you hear that? It's storming. It's so cool. Because after all, this is the first Thanksgiving without her mom. And it is quite different because usually her mom always made some turkey. They always had so much food. And she kind of repressed those memories because she didn't really want to think about them. But now she can't really avoid it, it's all coming back. And Liberty actually came to sit with us. So Liberty's like, Laura, I see you went away. You look kind of sad. What's wrong? And she's like, thank you so much for coming. I'm just kind of tired right now. It's a lot, you know. And Liberty's like, yeah, I totally get that. Like all the planning, so much work must have went into this little potluck, and I really think you all did a great job. And Laura's like, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But that's not really the issue. The issue is kind of, it's just different, you know. Back when mom was around, and she's like, yeah, your mom. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. She was such a nice person. I remember like back when we were at your place, kind of just hanging out, and she just came in with like plates of fruit and stuff. It was so nice. And Laura said like, yeah, I. She also always baked something when you guys came around. Do you remember? And Liberty's like, yes, of course I remember. She always made that one pudding, and it tasted like home. It was so nice. And Laura's like, yeah, the recipe was amazing. I still don't know what recipe she was following, but it was amazing. It was like for soul food. And Liberty's like, imagine if we had that today, that would be so nice. And Laura's like, she doesn't really know what to say. It's just, it evokes so many old memories. And it makes her sad. And they're just kind of talking about the great pudding she always used to make. And Laura's kind of distracting the conversation because this certain pudding she used to make. There was a very certain pudding her mom always used to make for her when her friends came over in other situations. And that certain pudding has a huge meaning to her. And those memories are being evoked right now, so she doesn't really want to talk about it. So she's like, Liberty, it was fun talking to you, but I do need some fresh air right now. I need a smoke. And she doesn't smoke, but she's gonna say that just so Liberty just leaves her alone for a moment. She wasn't doing anything mean, but without knowing, it was just too much for Laura, and she does need a break right now. And she does kind of need to think, and she needs some space to breathe. So she's going out. Here's some other food as well. And she's just kind of looking at the back garden. She's just looking at the place that used to be such a cozy home for her, and it's still such a cozy home for her. So she doesn't really know what to do, so she's just gonna start a puzzle by herself. She wants to wind down, she wants to calm down. It's all kind of too much for her, like all the crowds and stuff. So she's just starting a puzzle. What should it do? Let's do 100 pieces. And let's do Guardian of the Forest. And while she's just puzzling, Latte suddenly comes out here. She's like, hey, can I help you puzzle? What kind of puzzle is that? And I was like, oh, it's just 100 pieces. It's like a forest kind of puzzle, as you can see. And Latte's like, the food was amazing. There's still so much left, but I'm so stuffed. Oh my god, you should totally like maybe sell it to a bakery because there's still some untouched stuff. And it's pretty good. And I was like, do you really think so? I don't think anyone would like want to have this stuff. It's been sitting around here for like 3 hours. And that is like, yeah, but you can make some good money off it. And also there are some bakeries that don't want to use as many new ingredients and throw away some stuff, and you should think about it. And this random neighbor just comes over. And I was like, hi, how are you doing? And he's like, oh my god, Laura, you've grown so much since I last saw you. How's your college degree going? And Laura's like, oh, I'm actually finished. I finished my degree like half a year ago. It was really nice. I got an acceptable GPA. I have some freelance gigs now. And he's like, that's nice. And yeah, she's been spending fire? Who has been cooking? Who went to the stove? What? Summer is burning! Oh my god, someone extinguish her! Oh my god. Please. She's looking straight into the camera. She's like, why did you do this to me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Summer started burning and oh my god, Laura just extinguished her. So Laura was just going out to Fatima, with us sitting here alone. And Fatima's like, hey, also not doing well. And Laura's like, yeah, but what's going on with you? And Fatima's like, I'm kind of embarrassed. Some personal things have been going on, and now I'm here, and all of the feels are hitting, and I can't really hide anywhere because I'm surrounded by people. And Laura's like, I totally get that. I I love hanging out with my family, but it's exhausting sometimes. And Fatima's like, yeah, especially when you can't hide anywhere. Like, you're not at home, you can't go back to your room and just cozy up in your blanket and go to sleep. And they're just having a really deep conversation, and Laura suddenly feels really understood. And Fatima's like, I traveled all the way here, and it's really nice because I got to talk to you, so thank you for being there for me. And Laura feels really valued, and she just feels so appreciated, and she feels understood. Finally, she feels understood by someone, and people aren't just like trying to brighten her mood. Like, they're actually just listening, and this is exactly what she needs. So Laura's like, hey, let's take a selfie together, maybe. Because, since we met on Instagram, why not post something on Instagram? It looks so cozy, and even though they're not feeling their best, it's kind of connecting them in a way because they can just wallow together. I certainly think that they can become very good friends, and maybe even with Latte. She's saying like, oh my god, this place is so trashed. There are plates laying around everywhere. We do have to clean this up. And I was like, you do you, I'm going to bed. In my opinion, we can just go clean this up tomorrow, but yeah. And I think we're ending the potluck. Hold on, Connor is standing outside and he's miserable. What's going on with him? I think he's sad. Yeah, so he's also reminded of the times back when his wife was still around. So yeah, there's also some stuff with him going on as well. Like, he isn't all butterflies and rainbows. He certainly does have his feelings. So I think we're going to end the potluck. It's been quite a long time, and I do think this is a good point to end the potluck. I will also just kind of wind up this episode here. So Laura's just kind of going to brush her teeth. The last guests are leaving. And tonight she's going to sleep here. She's going to sleep in her old home. And she's dead tired. And she's going to sleep in her childhood bedroom. This is so lovely. So that's just coming up as well. They don't really have the energy to clean anymore this night. So they're going to clean tomorrow morning. And he's just kind of saying, oh, look, I'm gonna go to sleep. Good night. If you need anything, there's plenty of food in the kitchen. And I was like, this was awesome. Thank you so much for doing this with me, Dad. And yeah, good night as well. So this is actually Laura's childhood room. And she has like a really old computer here. She has some posters from movies she liked. She has plenty of old records, some sci-fi-ish stuff. I imagine she was really nerdy when she was a teen. She has an old tablet here. This used to be a sketch pad, but also like for a lot of other things, which is now replaced with a professional drawing tablet. She has some old trinkets, an old phone from back in the days. I think she's just so tired and she's just going to sleep happy. So thank you so much for sticking around for this episode. I definitely do think that we have experienced a lot of awesome things. It was such a nice and comforting episode personally, I think so. And now it's raining and I love this and it's so cozy. So thank you so much for sticking around. I'm really looking forward to the next episode. My heart is all warmed up and cozy, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.